Check.
Yo.
What up, y'all?
What is good? Welcome back to Nice Finds. My name is Sina Bajwe.
And I'm your guy, Kyle McClue. What's poppin'?
Yo, bro. I think last time we were here, we were talking about the Burna Boy concert, Kendrick Lamar concert, and I think we gotta start delving more into like international artists because they are making a lot bigger waves out here, just in the States as well as just in general.
Yeah.
Like, bro, whenever I went to the Burna Boy concert, I then realized, Houston has like a large Nigerian, Ghanaian population, you know what I mean? Ethiopian, like West African populace. People came and showed out for this man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and so that shit felt like, and I remember whenever I went to Childish Gambino's concert, right? And it felt like a dance party. Mm-hmm. From start to finish, he had zero openers. He just had a DJ.
A DJ.
Yeah, two DJs come out for him.
That man had a DJ and a band full of his homies.
Bro, that was it.
That was it.
That was it. The DJ started it off, and then whenever he got on stage, I'm telling you, this man can produce records, hits, from start to finish, an hour and 30 minutes, all hits. He did not stop. But I will say this, that nigga cannot dance. He can't dance, bro.
You had a good old time though, bro.
Bro, yeah.
That man, Burna Boy, is extremely talented. Like, I was, like, before I went to the concert, I was talking to my homeboy Nick, and my homeboy Nick said, man, like, as far as in the Afrobeat space, Burna Boy is like his favorite artist.
Right.
And, like, I could see it because, you know, his voice is like amazing. Like, that Afrobeat space right now is so dope because they do a great job of combining just straight pure talent. Like, they can sing, They can like rap a little bit, and just making a lot of fun music. You know what I mean? But yeah, like that concert was. I'm gonna tell you this though, it was very authentic.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Everybody was dancing from beginning to end. But
bro, you gotta realize, like, all these times growing up, there weren't a lot of like Afro artists that we could go see in concert or just in general, like musically. It was always we just had to hear them. We could never go and like touch them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's the dope thing about now, like the power of the internet.
Right.
You can see and hear about so many different artists from across the globe.
Right.
Would it be Africa? Would it be the Caribbean? Would it be in Spain, France?
Right.
You remember, like last week, I sent you that Made in Paris guy.
Right.
And it was like straight French rap.
Right.
And it was amazing. You know what I mean? Or like when, you know, one of my favorite artists, C. Tangana from Spain, and like has one of the best, what's the NPR joint? That Tiny
Desk?
He has one of the best Tiny Desks.
Really?
C.
Bro,
Tangana.
why you ain't send it?
He's like, this dude is amazing, super talented. Granted, I'm still learning my Spanish, still brushing up on my Espanol.
I mean, from
I
what I heard, you're doing pretty good, bro.
Fire, bro.
Yeah, look,
he's dope.
If we don't stay on this this whole Spanish wave, right? I think one thing that we like really gotta look at is like South America, and I know reggaeton is very like culturally relevant and things like that. An artist that I feel like is really popping and outside of America, Sech.
As a fire.
That man, I haven't heard one bad
Panama
song.
Considered Central America or South America? Let's fact check this, because he's from Panama.
He's from Panama?
But if you were to see him, you wouldn't think that. I think the first time I saw him, he had like a do-rag on, and he had like his dreads sticking out, and I thought like, oh, he most definitely from like.
Panama is definitely Central America.
Central America, there you go.
All right.
So what's a favorite joint you like from Sech? Like for the people who are out there like tuning in, if you were to recommend something from Sech, where would you go to?
I would say...
and granted, everything is in Spanish, so we encourage everybody tuning in to have an open ear.
Right. And so...
and a Google Translate.
Absolutely. You need to be on Genius the entire time you're looking up his music. If you don't know Spanish like that, all right?
Or YouTube, because they do a very good job of putting English captions.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would say the album that my friend put me on to him is the album 42.
Yeah.
And he has a song on there that I cannot get out of my head. Even now, I'm singing it in my head. 9/11. That's
my joint,
bro.
That's my stuff right there.
That song is what really like made me listen to him, because I was like, it was just, he just has that voice and that style that makes me want to pay attention.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, that's whenever I started to hear him on more songs, like with Sky, the producer that rocks with J Balvin. And that's whenever I started hearing like the crossover with him, J Balvin, Karol G, all these other artists.
In that reggaeton space.
Right.
Yeah.
And so with that, I was like, yeah, this motherfucker, he got hits.
He got hits.
He got hits. He's in his hit era. And you know how like every artist starts off, they're like trying to find their sound, trying to find how they move within the space and how they can continue to grow. He honestly just reminds me of like the International Blast.
Bruh, that's a hell of an analogy.
Like the way he's on songs, and the shit just feels solid. You know what I mean?
That's a hell of an analogy. But I'm gonna dive in like more of a I wouldn't say philosophical, but more of a just like how dope of an era we're in right now. How in a matter of minutes, we talked about an artist from Africa,
right?
An artist from France, an artist
Nigeria
from Spain,
specifically.
Nigeria specifically.
Yeah.
We'll get to your people.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about Black Sharif.
Come on now, yeah. You know, we gotta get the Ghanaian artists out here.
Yeah. Then we talked about artists from Panama.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think it's such a dope time in that now music is so globally accessible. It's like you can travel to these places without actually having to be there.
Right.
And I think that is so cool. I think like one of my pastimes, and I feel like it's everybody's pastime, is going on YouTube and just going on to these binges and watching music videos.
Right.
Because it's like kind of like you feel like you're there.
Right.
So like I remember, I know when I watched like a lot of these hip hop documentaries, and they started talking about the rise of West Coast hip hop. Like how all these people in the Northeast and whatnot was watching these music videos from the West Coast, and it make them want to go there.
Yeah.
Like me, like all of my next travel destinations is because of music.
Right.
Yeah, like I want to go to the UK because I'm listening to UK drill all the time. You know what I mean? I want to go to South Africa because amapiano, I love that genre.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm watching all of these major league DJs, balcony mix YouTube videos. If you guys aren't on the major league DJs, check them out. They make these balcony mixes and like their YouTube videos that you can play in the background.
And who's that artist that you put me on to amapiano? Cap, I know I'm gonna butcher the first name. Kabza De Small.
Kabiza De Small.
Kabiza De Small.
So he's a DJ as well.
Right.
So he's kind of like, he's a DJ and producer, just like major league DJs. As far as like an artist though, who's using a lot of the amapiano sound that I really like is this guy named Kostaka. I probably butchered his name, but it's spelled Asake.
Okay.
He's actually going to be here in the States at like a big Afrobeats festival in the Bay Area soon.
Yeah.
And he also has a track with Burna Boy as well. You know, offline was talking about how Burna Boy is pretty much collabing with everybody in Africa.
Right.
Everybody in Africa. And this guy here, what's really cool is a lot of his music has that amapiano production. And he's dope, super, super dope.
And that kind of reminds me of like that whole run K-Tronada had with 99.9. It was like taking his sound and using it to like big up other artists that he like really fucked with, like Sid, Vic Mensa, and like really understanding that this sound can go international if you are mixing the right artist with it. And so like you said earlier, that's what we're seeing a lot with a lot of these newer artists who are now no longer thinking about barriers in terms of music. And you see that with the rise of Tim's, right?
Yeah.
From for a matter of, what is it, like 2 years or so?
Tim's is on fire.
She's on everybody's record.
Everybody.
Her voice is just so distinct in how she like makes her music. I mean, I know some people say that her albums are, they feel like monochromatic. I speak in like colors. They feel like monochromatic in terms of like how they sound, but in terms of the type of quality of music that she's putting out, I feel like it's the same thing whenever you have like a reggaeton artist, right? Mm-hmm. Where they have a specific sound from their country of origin that really helps nurture how they produce music. Mm-hmm. And so that's why whenever you had Future sample her, like that's why it was such a big record. And then you also had Drake putting her on the song, and then she just having her own success along with producers like Rema, in Nigeria, and just the fact that people are coming together now instead of thinking I have to do this shit by myself. I have to put on my country or my city alone. Yeah. And you saw that with Body too. Yeah. With Tion Wayne. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that joint. That's my joint. UK. Like a UK track. If you want to get introduced into like the UK hip hop drill scene, Body remix. Right. Like Russ Millions, Tion Wayne, like that joint right there.
Bro.
That's my shit. But let's backtrack a little bit because like you touched on something important as far as breaking barriers.
Right.
I think it's also twofold. It's the listeners as well, right? As listeners, we have to be open to something different. And now I think we as a people, because we're a little more globally focused, a lot of us traveled internationally, a lot of us had the internet so we can study, we're becoming more open to the global sound. Right. Like think about it, like probably the most excited concert I'm ready to attend and can't wait to attend is Bad Bunny.
Right, bro.
Like an artist straight out of Puerto Rico. And like Bad Bunny is like the hottest artist like globally right now.
Absolutely.
Like I checked, I remember last week I was looking at Spotify numbers and he was the most streamed artist here in Houston. Like a guy from Puerto Rico was the most streamed artist in Houston.
That's wild.
You know what I mean? And like he is, and what's interesting is when it comes to like those Billboard sales. Yeah. You remember his tape came out. And
I honestly feel like Bad Bunny's music is so continuous. I can't even tell you when his last tape came out, when the first one came out, when the third one. Like I just feel like there's a new Bad Bunny project.
Well, the latest album, the latest album came out in May.
Right.
This May of 2022, depending on when everybody's viewing this recording.
Right.
Came out in May of 2022. Right now we're in August 2022. So for the past few months, anytime a new artist releases an album, say if it's a big time artist, in order for them to go number one, and this is like each week since Bad Bunny's album, in order for them to go number one, they have to beat out Bad Bunny. So every single week they have to outsell Bad Bunny to go number one.
Right.
And that just shows how the barrier's been broken globally. You know what I mean? The barrier has been broken.
And I think he also got nominated, or he's probably in the running for a nomination of Album of the Year, which is I think the first time won an artist from Panama, right?
Nah, so he's from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, I'm sorry.
Bad Bunny from Puerto Rico.
Artist from Puerto Rico has been nominated in that style, and also an international artist being that highly praised on the Grammy stage. And I mean, over the past couple of years, I'm not really that big of a fan of the Grammys, mainly because I don't feel like it's a gauge of the music style, or I don't think it follows the music artistic values of what people listen to today.
Gotcha. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like as far as like what the listeners think is hot compared to what they think is hot.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, that's why I'm like, it's very interesting to see them really put a spotlight on Bad Bunny and like really big him up like that. So.
And you know what's also interesting as far as just breaking barriers, you start seeing how other countries may influence the country you're in style and vice versa.
Right.
So like, you know, the other day we were talking about just how Chicago,
Yeah.
like the drill scene of Chicago, somebody like Chief Keef,
Yeah.
it's probably one of the most influential people in music.
Absolutely.
Because you're starting to see drill and all over the place. Like, there's this one artist who a friend of mine introduced me to, where he's a dance hall artist. But like when I listen to his music, you can see some like influence of drill. So Skeng,
Yeah.
I believe that's how you say his name, spelled Skeng. He's dope, dance hall artist out of Jamaica. And like when I was watching his videos and listening to some of his songs, I was like, yo, I can hear the drill influence, you know what I mean? I can hear the drill influence for sure. And then, you know, in UK, you got the UK drill, you know? Right. You got like French drill. You even got like artists in Spain. Like they got this one guy, his name is Benny Jr. Beny and then JR. And he's like a Spanish like drill artist.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy just how globally, like it just like you get, it feels like a country's at your fingertips. Another country is literally at your fingertips with music.
And you see that a lot with like especially like K-pop. I'm not really into the K-pop scene.
But people who listen to K-pop,
they are
in the K-pop.
They are fans.
You remember that K-pop? Remember when we had our
event?
Party,
yeah.
our event, and they had a K-pop event right next door, and they messed up our stuff because the K-pop line was way too long.
Yeah. People didn't even know we were having an event because the line was so fucking long.
Because a little kid with a whole anime outfit on, standing in front of the entrance, saying like, they're like, "Where's your event?" And they just say, "All I see is this little kid in this like Naruto outfit on, bro." Like,
dog, look, but I say that because like you have people like Chief Keef, right? And you talking about the globalization of drill music, and I was at an event on Friday, right? And they played International Players Anthem. You know that song, classic, stamped. Right. No matter who you are, you know that shit's a classic, right? You gonna sing along to it. They played that. People were like fucking with it. And then 10 minutes later, right? He played Finito.
That shit went crazy.
Everybody went crazy.
Everybody
went crazy, bro. Like more so than International Players Anthem. And I'm just like, and I'm not saying one has more staying power than the other, but in terms of what people are listening to now, what?
That's what you're saying.
What people are listening to now.
That's one of our.
I mean, say it with your chest.
You say it with your chest.
Uh-oh, here we go, people.
All right.
That's the key in the background for y'all. One half of the hustle holiday.
I mean, look, I fuck with International Players Anthem, right? But in terms of how music is moving now, you are going to hear drill music influence in newer artists, as well as like with Playboi Carti and just people being more exploratory in their vocals as well as the beats that they listen to.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. But I think we gave some nice finds.
Right. I'm gonna say how I mean it always. All right.
So I think we gave the people out here some nice finds as far as like some international sounds for them to check out. Before we close out, are there any artists specifically like you would recommend?
Yes,
and then
absolutely.
Also name what country they're from too.
All right, you gonna put me on slight.
Uh-oh, he's pulling up the Spotify.
All right, so the first artist I would say y'all need to check out, and he like I said, I don't know if he already had a concert out here, and I remember whenever Rick Ross said his name, he butchered this nigga's name terribly, like awfully. Nigerian-born singer. His name is Adekunle Gold.
Okay. He's
had tracks with Lucky Day. He has a track with Toby from Canada. A lot of his music is just really.
How do you spell his name?
ADEKUNLEGOLD. Adekunle Gold. And so just the vibe that he has is very airy in the music that he makes. He also has singles with Now, N-A-O, also from the UK.
From the UK.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic artist. Then I would also say, and I spoke to you about this earlier, is Ira Star.
Mm-hmm.
She has had, she's from Benin, I'm sorry. She's from Benin Republic. She has a couple tracks I feel like people really...
Wait, from where?
Benin. So,
okay.
Yeah, and so she has... Her music, bro, is just very in your face, but at the same time, that shit just, it's a bop. You know what I mean? Like her song, Good Samaritan or Bloody Samaritan, I'll say check that out, as well as Ashe. She has a color show that she did that really put me onto her music, and just like her persona, her bravado is what really made me have to listen to her. You know what I mean? But what are some artists that you say people should check out?
Well, you know, we talked about Black Sharif.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Black Sharif is dope. Super, super dope. And he's from Ghana.
Right.
Yeah, he's dope. I gotta emphasize my man, C. Tangana.
Yeah.
Like, anytime I want like a go-to tape, I always go to his last tape, his latest
How you
tape.
spell it one more time?
So it's C dot and then Tangana.
Okay.
So he's been doing music for a while, but like his last album was very, very good. And I would tell y'all the name of the album, but I'm gonna butcher the name of the album. It's in Spanish. And like I said, I'm still brushing up on my Spanish. I'm still learning. But the tape came out February of 2022. And like I said, he probably has one of the best, the thing on NPR again, Tiny Desk. Tiny Desk. He has probably one of the best Tiny Desks I've seen. And like I said, it's all in Spanish, but super, 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 super good.
All right.
Yeah, man.
But thank y'all for tuning in to this Nice Finds, where we explore some international artists. Can't wait to go out, find some more, bring them back to you. My name is Cinna Bajwe.
And I'm Kyle McClure.